Greetings, soul beings. It's Shelly Bean, the Empowered Oracle. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you are in the world. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. All right, so guys, also I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving wherever you are in the world and enjoyed your time, whether you were just chilling by yourself or with family and friends. I hope that you found fulfillment and enjoyment in your holiday. So I am here, guys, giving you all your end of the year message. I guess you can count it as your December 2025 message. But in any case, this is going to be for the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements of Pisces Collective. Pisces, I hope you guys are doing well. And as always, guys, these messages aren't going to be for every Pisces. However, if you've clicked on to my channel, more than likely there is a message here for you. And I have an actual special message as well for you guys. Well, for every sign that I'm doing, I'm sending the same message because these are specific downloads that I got before I started recording. So these messages I'll get into closer to the end of your reading, Pisces. And as always, if you need a personal reading from me, my information is below in the description area. All right, so let's start with the Sacred Destiny deck here. The Sacred Destiny deck. Well, yeah, the Sacred Destiny deck. And get your message. Holy Divine Spirit. What Sacred Destiny Oracle message do you have for Pisces Collective at this time? Please and thank you. As we head towards the end of this 2020-25. Please and thank you. Okay. Oh, I like this. You had the card of abundance. Oh, hold on. The lighting was starting to unfocus. You have abundance. So you guys are heading towards some type of abundance. And keep in mind that abundance can look different. The different ways that we are abundant and prosperous. It doesn't have to always be something tangible, like money, for instance, cars or houses or anything like that. You can have abundance in relationships, and you can have an abundance in your physical health. You can have abundance in your career. You can have abundance in just having different opportunities that come to you. You know, that's part of abundance. So you know, abundance looks different for everybody. But just know, Pisces, that you are heading into, as we close out this 2025 year, you are headed towards abundance, which I am feeling is also going to be, that's also falling or overlapping into 2026. But I want to read specifically what the abundance message is for you, Pisces. Okay, hold on, guys, just a sec. Okay, so abundance, make sure I have the right, okay, yep. So abundance, Pisces, it says everything is blossoming in life. Open yourself to receive. Abundance, fulfillment, and prosperity are ready to be activated in your life. Life desires you to prosper. You are moving toward an outpouring of money, energy, time, or love. Opportunities are limitless. However, you must take action in the direction of your dreams. Don't wait for abundance to fall into your lap. Take steps. Give deeply and fully. Don't hold back. This card reveals that this is a great time to make investments. The more you give with a free and open heart, the more you will receive. Be grateful for what you already have, and even more will flow to you. Beautiful message, Pisces. I like that. Yes, and considering that we are just coming out of Mercury retrograde, which I think Mercury went direct either today or goes direct tomorrow. That's actually great. But also keep in mind, there's like a post Mercury retrograde shadow period that we can still be in the next week or two. So just, use your discernment when it comes to making certain types of investments in your time and energy and your money. But in any case, we are coming out of that Mercury retrograde energy. So if you do want to put forth money, time, and energy into something or even someone, this is definitely a better time to do that. So I like that message for you guys with abundance, Pisces. Let's see what else you guys have coming up as we get towards the end of 2025. Holy Divine Spirit, what other messages? Please give me 3 messages you have for Pisces Collective at this time, please and thank you. What's the second message for Pisces Collective, Divine Spirit, please and thank you. Third message for Pisces Collective at this time, thank you. That's so funny. Again, abundance. You have 2 cards to talk about abundance, Pisces. You guys are on a roll. I know that's right. You have 2 cards that speak of abundance. 2 cards. So it says money increase, stability, and wealth. So again, you could have wealth in your health. You can have wealth in your relationships. You can have wealth in your mindset. So I think, not I think, but I see clearly that Divine Spirit is emphasizing and reiterating that you guys are on the path towards a lot of abundance. Maybe this year, 2025, has been rough or difficult or challenging, which, I can relate, and a lot of the collective can relate. A lot of the people in the world, I think, can relate. This year has been tough in a lot of different areas. But yes, so specifically with you, Pisces, maybe this was a year with you where maybe finances were tight, or just maybe you were feeling a sense of lack somewhere in your life, okay? And the tables are now turning and you're going to start receiving at this point, because you are very much a giver. And maybe that's part of the reason why you may have been feeling a bit of lack or even maybe depletion. But again, the tables have turned, and so increase is now flowing to you. So we also have clearing. It says obstacles removed and make space. So a lot of those energies for you that may have been blocking your abundance and prosperity, Pisces, is being removed and being cleared. I love that for you. And then we have a few weeks from now. Exactly. This would be like more towards like the end of this year as we get into the later part of December. Okay. I'm loving these energies for you, Pisces. All right. Let's check real quick with your money. Just some oracle messages regarding your finances. Holy Divine Spirit, please give me 3 messages for Pisces Collective regarding their money and finances. What would you like Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placement Collective to know? Oops. Okay. All right. Okay. So you're the 4th sign that I've been reading, and all 3 other signs before you have gotten money mantras. So this is definitely the time I'm feeling, from Divine Spirit. This is very much a time for the collective to be really affirming, making affirmations and saying mantras. This is something that Divine Spirit is calling for a lot of the collective to continue to do, and to do this on a regular basis. And you guys have 2 mantras here. regarding your finances. And these are mantras that you, of course, can write down, affirm out loud, speak out loud into the universe, and burn and release. Okay. But the first message is you are releasing old habits that block your flow of abundance. Yes, you are releasing habits. You're clearing, you're removing the obstacles. So this is just reiterating, clearing, and removing obstacles and making space for abundance to flow into your life. I love that. You are releasing old habits that block your flow of abundance. Absolutely. You guys, I can see, are not playing about 2026, about setting, a great precedence and foundation for the new year. So the first money mantra says, my life is fruitful and full of blessings. So you can pause this or take a picture of this, write it down, affirm it, speak out loud into the universe, and burn and release. Okay. Then you have the second mantra that says, my sound investments secure my abundant future. And when I read you guys the message for this abundance card here, it did mention making investments. So again, you are being encouraged and guided that this is a good time as we are moving towards the end of this year, the end of 2025, that it's a good time for you guys, Pisces, to make investments. However those investments look to you, or whatever those investments are to you. All right. I'm loving that and loving it and loving it. This is like, so far, I definitely feel more of a lighter energy with you guys for this reading. Holy Divine Spirit, let's check the blockages, the current blockages for Pisces Collective. Holy Divine Spirit, what 3 current blockages do we have for Pisces Collective, Divine Spirit? Please guide me to the cards this time, please and thank you. Please guide me to the right cards for Pisces Collective. What's the second blockage for Pisces Collective, Divine Spirit? Please and thank you. What is the third? Oh gosh. Hold on, guys. What is the third blockage for Pisces Collective, Divine Spirit? Please and thank you. All right. Okay, so the first blockage that we have is burned out. It says you feel emotionally burned out right now. Retreat and recover from continuing. So some of you guys could be working hard or have been working hard, or maybe, again, like I said before, maybe you guys have been giving too much to a situation or to a person, and so you're depleted, or you feel a sense of lack, physical lack, or like physical energy, lacking your physical energy. So that is a blockage that Divine Spirit wants you to become aware of if you haven't already. The second blockage is addiction. You are either obsessed with someone or struggling with addiction. It says get help. So some of you guys, you could be dealing with some type of substance abuse, or it may not even be a substance abuse. Any addiction, anything that becomes an unhealthy pattern or habit can be considered an addiction. It doesn't have to be a chemical or substance addiction. But you know who you are. This won't resonate with everybody. If this resonates for you, you know who you are. You know if it resonates or not. But this is part of a big blockage for some of you guys, or for someone here. Addiction definitely creates blockages. It does not have to be chemical or substance. It can be any unhealthy pattern or a habit that becomes unhealthy. So, but those are whatever addiction it is. Divine Spirit is definitely encouraging you to look into getting help, and that you have divine support. You always have divine support. And as we get towards the end of this year and going into 2026, this is a message that someone needs to hear at this time, where you have abundance and so many blessings that want to come to you. And we're going into a new year of 2026. And it's very important. This is a message that I've been given all my signs that I've read for so far. It's very important for us as a collective to clear out a lot of these blockages, or at least be working on clearing the blockages. And we want to be working on clearing these blockages by the end of this year. We want to at least be in the process, or in the process of clearing these blockages, so we can set a healthy and more positive tone for 2026, but also for a new life cycle. All right. Then we have fear, loneliness. It says you stay in bad relationships because you are lonely. Be okay being with yourself. And so many of us in the collective can relate to that. A lot of us in the collective have been in relationships that weren't good for us, or that weren't for our greatest and highest good, or depleted us, or drained us for the wrong reasons. You know, we may have stayed in relationships for the wrong reasons, because of fear of loneliness, the fear of being alone, not wanting to be alone. And a lot of that goes back to some type of trauma, more than likely related to some type of childhood wound and or trauma. Because as most things in life, whatever we experience as children, or in our childhood and growing up and being conditioned and being programmed, and in our environmental situations, a lot of those have such a huge impact on us as children. A lot of times we bring a lot of that stuff into our adult connections and relationships. So that is something that Divine Spirit is wanting someone to acknowledge and address for their greatest and highest good. You know, there's so many different things in our lives that we do on an unconscious level that create so many blockages, and we would have no freaking idea that those behaviors that we deem as healthy or normal, or something that we've just been used to doing without thinking about, a lot of those things oftentimes can be blockages to our blessings and our abundance, into our personal desires and dreams that we want to manifest. And they don't manifest because they're blockages. You'd be surprised, but this is how we learn and grow. This is how we expand. You know, so the school of life, as I say, is always going to be a learning experience. We're always going to be students of life, period. And I also believe that we're also, once we transition, that we're also going to continue to be students of the divine, students of divine works, students of divine power. Yeah. So I don't think, for me personally, I don't think it ends. I don't think the learning ends once our bodies physically transition. But anyway, so speaking of blockages, the things that I downloaded today, that I was in the middle of doing something, and as always, whenever I get these particular type of downloads, I have to stop what I'm doing to write it down, because Divine Spirit is guiding me to do that, because it's a message that is imperative that I get out to the rest of the collective. So, these blockages, you know, we are being asked from divine source, or being encouraged, I should say. We are being encouraged and recommended by divine source to clear or be in the process of clearing these blockages by the end of this year. Be in the process of clearing these blockages by the end of the year. It may take some time to clear out certain energies and blockages that we have, depending on, it's different for everyone, but you want to at least be in the process of doing it by the end of this year. So that way you are setting the precedents and the great foundation to start off 2026. Because 2026 is one of the biggest themes for 2026 is going to be, saying what you mean and meaning what you say, even if it means being vulnerable. And like I've told the rest of the signs, I'm going to tell you, vulnerability and being vulnerable is not a weakness. Society, however, has conditioned and programmed us to believe and to think that being vulnerable is a weakness. It is not. That could be farthest from the truth or further from the truth. Being vulnerable actually takes a lot of courage and strength. Okay. So that's going to be a heavy theme for 2026. And also, it's very important to be working on clearing these blockages, because 2026 is also going to be the theme of the soft era. So not only is it a new year, but it's the 2026 year, which equals a 10, which reduces to a year 1, which is the beginning. It starts with 1. 1 is the first number. 1 is the beginning. 1 is the beginning of a new cycle, a new life cycle. And we are being prepared to have a soft era, or go into our soft era life cycle, which means having more of a softer life, softer experiences, not so harsh, not so abrupt, not so rough. It's not to say that we won't still have certain trials and tribulations or obstacles or challenges, but we are setting ourselves up. Divine Spirit wants us to set ourselves up to win, set ourselves up to have better experiences, softer experiences, more joy, more fulfillment, more happiness, more peace, more abundance, more prosperity, and an easier journey, an easier travel, an easier life experience in this next half, in this new cycle. So this is why it's important for me to be getting these messages out to the collective. And the other thing is red flags. In 2026, we want to go into into 2026 recognizing the red flags for what they are. And if we see familiar red flags, we are to move away ASAP, instead of waiting or prolonging walking away from a red flag situation or person just because we want to see if the situation or person changes. No, we are not being recommended or encouraged to do that, because our spirit and soul already knows. And if we do decide to entertain and engage with a red flag situation or person, knowing that it's a red flag, we have chosen to participate in our own misery and to deal with the consequences for that, which is not a punishment. It's just we'd have to go through another lesson, repeat another lesson, and we will have chosen to go through that lesson again, to go through the hardship again, to go through the challenges and difficulties again. So, and because we have free will, we have free will when we make decisions. That is part of the divine gift that the Most High Mother and Father have given us, is free will. So we can learn and repeat the same lessons over and over and over again as many times as we want. It's our free will to do that. But this is just a heads up. So yeah, this is definitely the biggest message that I got. And, you know, we're often being tested by divine source to see how much we've learned, to see how much we've grown. A lot of those tests come in through people, you know, and a lot of times people are sent to us or sent to our lives as tests. So we either pass or we fail. And if we fail, it's okay because it opens up another opportunity for us to learn the lesson. If we didn't learn it the last 4 times or the last 5 times or the last 10 times, voila, we have another opportunity to learn. Again, we can keep learning these same lessons over and over again as many times in our lives as we want. That is our choice if we decide to do that. Or we can decide to learn the lesson. So the thing about 2026 is because it's a new cycle, because it's a year 1 cycle and a new cycle, if we don't work on clearing these obstacles and challenges within our lives or within ourselves, if we're not working on that and we don't work on that, then 2026 will come in with a bang. And as I said before to the other signs, coming in with a bang, not in a good way. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. So with that being said, Pisces, let's get a declare and decree message for you guys. This will be another affirmation that you can speak out loud, that you can write down, speak out loud, and affirm to the universe and burn and release. These declare and decree messages can be something that you need to clear in your ancestral bloodline, more than likely. Okay. But it's definitely something that is within your energy that needs to be cleared for your greatest and highest good. So let's see what you guys have. Holy Divine Spirit, please guide me to the declare and decree message for Pisces Collective, please and thank you. What's the second declare and decree message for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements? Holy Divine Spirit, please and thank you. All right. Okay. The first message is, I declare and decree all feeling of defeat and powerlessness are destroyed from my energy in spirit and in flesh. So you guys can write this down, pause it or pause the video or take a picture, write it down, declare and decree out loud to the universe and burn and release. And if you can't burn, that's fine, but release it in some way. Maybe bury it in dirt. Maybe release it into water. And if you do release it into water, I wouldn't recommend flushing paper in the toilet. But if you decide to burn it, if you decide to write it down and then burn it, then yes, you can flush it in the toilet because it's a method of washing away, going away, washing away. So flushing in the toilet after you burn it is fine. And then we have, I declare and decree, Spirit, come through, Holy Spirit. I'm just saying, my spirit guides don't play. They don't play with me. They don't play about me. And I love it. And I'm so grateful. I declare and decree all unhealthy addictions, codependencies, and pleasure-seeking behavior patterns are destroyed and cleared in spirit and in flesh. We have 2 cards to talk about addictions and codependencies and habits. and unhealthy habits. Two. Okay. But I'm going to hold this up. You guys, again, can pause the video, take a picture. But this is definitely something else that you want to declare and decree. Speak out loud into the universe. Write it down. Speak out loud into the universe and burn and release. Or if you can't burn it, release it from your energy and from your physical environment. And again, that's divine spirit coming through and confirming these messages. Thank you, divine spirit. Lastly, Pisces, let's get a tarot message for you. What tarot message do we have, divine spirit, for Pisces collective at this time? What tarot message do you have for Pisces collective at this time? Please and thank you. Holy divine spirit, please guide me to the correct tarot message for Pisces collective. It's starting to get dark out here, so my light is dimming. Sorry guys, I'm just about done. Okay. All right. So we have the Emperor that came out in reverse. All right, we have excessive control, inflexible, undisciplined, absent father or father issues, lack of control, rigid, dominant, aggressive. So this could be a very dominant energy in your space, Pisces. It could be an Aries person as well. Or with this Emperor in reverse, it could just be a very, it could be in a authoritative figure. It can be an authoritative figure who may abuse their power in some way. So this could be a workplace. It could be a boss. It could be a supervisor. Or it could represent an organization as a whole. An organization as a whole that might be doing some things that you, Pisces, may not feel is maybe full of integrity, and it's just maybe wrong. You may feel like it might be morally wrong, but this is Emperor in reverse is not a great energy. I get an energy with the Emperor in reverse. For me, it has a very narcissistic type of energy. So again, this could be a person or a place or environment. For some reason, I'm getting workplace or organization or something that abuses power, that does things with lack of integrity, that is very, maybe even entitled, maybe very belittling. So this may be something that you guys that you guys could be currently dealing with, or that you could be dealing with as we get closer to the end of this year, closer to the end of December. I'm hearing have your wits about you, Pisces. Have your wits about you, and in terms of this particular energy that you could be dealing with either now or in the next couple of weeks, or as we get towards the new year. Have your wits about you. I'm hearing, when I say that, divine source is saying that you know what I'm talking about when I say have your wits about you when dealing with this Emperor in reverse energy. So that's for someone. All right, Pisces. All right. This was a very interesting reading, guys. Wow. I hope that it resonated and that you found it helpful. As always, guys, until the next upload, Pisces, be well and be at peace. Ashe.